Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another edition of Techtard, the product review show brought to you by the Department of Inhaled Vapors. Now, the unit I want to show today is from Ehpro, and that is the new Evok 80, a little box mod that they've brought out. Just going to take you through the box and everything first. Also, I'd like to state for the record, any views or opinions you hear during this review are mine and mine alone. I've not been paid to do this review. I have not paid for the product. As a matter of fact, I actually did win this in a competition from Ehpro. So I thought I'd give you little guys a heads up on what I personally think of it. Okay, we'll take you through the box and all the other stuff. Right, here we go. So we've got the main picture on the front. Very minimalistic. Do kind of like it. I do like the how the red pings out on the actual thing. Not much else on the actual sides. And the back. On the back there's a little bit of information about the features and a few cautions. Also, please note here you have got the code and everything to input to check that you've got an authentic model and not a cloned sausage. Also got the barcode and also the certificates of excellence and all that stuff. And also, do not recycle your batteries in a recycling bin. Do it for a proper battery recycling place. Right, now when we open this up, there we go. Do like the box. It's got a nice little magnetic clip there to hold that in place. Do like that. All right, when we open it up, right, we've got the instruction manual. I'm not going to concentrate too much on that today because the review is going to basically do what the instruction manual will tell you anyway. Right, here we've got the Evok 80 in a nice little bit of plastic. And you've also got your USB data transfer and charging cable. Check that out. It's only a small one, but then you don't need something that's 900 miles long. And the unit itself. Now, this has already been opened, and I have already put a battery in, but I will show you how to get the batteries in, get the batteries out. Just take you through the little look of the device. So it feels nice. It feels a bit plastic, but it feels like there's a little bit of weight in there with the battery in it. You've got your bottom battery door. So, I have already removed all that khaki plastic protective layer. While you're getting the shine on that. Got your 510 connection on the top. All in that mirrored metal. OCD sufferers, I will warn you now, you will spend most of your life with that going, it's a fingerprint magnet and a half. It really does. It doesn't take a lot for a smudgy fingerprint. I've done it already. See at the bottom? Smudgy fingerprints will be the death of any OCD user with this mod. Also, it's a... Oh God, it's made it worse. Also, with these type of units, I said I have been using this a little bit already. Just say on there. You will get the ATI skid mark circle that gets left on the top as well. Really annoying. But there we go. So we've got the screen here. It's the traditional 5-button start. And then you'll get your screen come up. And it is a very nice screen. I've got to admit, it's very bright. You will, yeah. In any light conditions, you can just go like that and go, yeah, all right, I know what I've got there. Just turn that off again. To do the battery, we've got this bottom bit here. Now, on the Evok 80 side, you may just notice, that isn't going to focus on it. Well, round about here, there's a little notch. You'll see a little notch on this bit. So if you get the Evok 80 side to you, and then press on the back right-hand corner, and that will open the mod. So, and that is where your battery goes in. There's a little mark on there as well, which tells you the negative goes to the bottom of the mod. If you put it in wrong, it shouldn't work. I haven't tried that yet. I might just try that now, actually. So there we go. So I'm putting in the positive side to the bottom. I've made sure the front door is unlocked in case this has to be locked. Close. Click down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it doesn't come on at all. and that is with the battery in the wrong way. It will not come on at all. So we'll just open this again. Put it in the correct way now with the negative at the bottom. That just goes in there, and then you just push it closed till you hear that first click, and then you press down, and that will lock it into place. The other little safety feature on here also is, you can see that right here, there's a little knobbly button, and that must go fully in for the device to actually fire with the battery in. Okay, that will not operate if the door was a little bit open. So we've got the door open there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will not operate. That door must be fully shut, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that will come on. So it's a nice little safety feature there with that little safety button on the bottom of the door. Right, we'll wiggle down to the map now, and I'll take you through the memory system. And a few things I found a little bit quirky with this. I will admit, if you've got any form of OCD, do not purchase this mod. It will drive you insane. It really, you will, and it's little things, but it will make you go, oh. So, I'll be back in a little bit. See you then. Right, so here we are. Now, to get onto the menu system, all you got to do is press these two buttons here, the minus and the plus together at the same time. You can do it with one finger. And there we are. That's got you into the memory system. Now, by pressing the up and down, that will scroll through the options you've got. You've got work mode settings, the exit, what the software version is, system software update, auto off time selection. I can't even read that one myself. Hands mode, temperature control, power limit settings, and the temperature system. Now, temperature system, by clicking onto that one, if you press the fire button, that'll get you into it. You can choose whether you want it in Fahrenheit or centigrade. I want that in centigrade, so I shall click the fire button to confirm that one. Now it takes you back to the first menu. Work mode settings. You can either temp mode, volt control mode, ceramics mode. I won't be doing the ceramics test with this mod. Personally, I haven't got any ceramic cores. To be honest on this one, I don't like them. I've never had a good ceramic core yet, so it's not something that's interesting me. Or power, which if you click onto that, that will put it into volts mode. Let me just go back into work mode, because I want mine in volts, so I click round to volts, and I'll click that. But other modes that you've got in this, I say you've got your nickel, ceramics, volts, the TCR modifications, stainless steel mode, and of course titanium mode, and nickel. And you exit out of that. Software version, auto off time. If there's ever any period of time you're not using your mod, it will turn itself off after the allocated time, which you can set from 10 all the way up to an hour and a half. Don't really use it myself. Hands mode, that's if you're a lefty or a righty, and you can choose there. That's how much power you want the unit, the maximum power you want the units go to on your temp controls. And say up and down, we'll set that up to 80. And temperature, oh, I've done that one. And I've done that, yeah. It's really, really easy to get into the actual unit, to get into the actual menu of this system. And you can have a little fiddle around and play around with the settings that you want. One thing I have got to show you is, what does this look like with a tank or something on it? This is where a problem arises. Tank. Here we go. I'm going to use this. Which is the Model M dripper that I also won in the competition from Ehpro. So say we've got the 510 there, and I'm going to put this in. All good so far. Right. Now that's in. Now, I don't know if you can see there. That is not flush. It is flush only on one bit. So that kind of insinuates that the 510 actual connection bit is a bit wonky. There is probably about, I get a fingernail in there, gap. And for the OCD amongst us, it just looks horrible. It looks wonky. It generally looks wonky. And I just can't abide by that. It's just, oh. But it's not just that. I'll use a different dripper. I'll use the Lush. Put it in here. You can see, that shouldn't be like that. Going in. That should have lodged on there and just go in. But look at that. That's terrible. Now I'm just hoping I've got a bad one. But I mean the gap's even worse on that one. Still get that fingernail in certain areas, and it just looks a bit toss. The only tank I actually found I could get in and it sat flush was the Evo from Aspire. The Aspire tank from Evo was the only one I found I could actually get in. So there's still that wobble. There shouldn't be any what actually latch on and just go straight in. But oh, I don't know if you could hear that. Now I've tried to clean out obviously any little maybe shards of metal that sometimes are still left in there, and it's still getting a nice, really horrible crunchy. But as you see now, that's on there fully. There's no gap. But that's the only one I've found that will actually go on the device. In this day and age, I think that's just not good enough. That it feels almost like that the 510 is a little bit too big, and you've got to be absolutely dead on centre. There you go. You've got to be absolutely dead on centre to get that in, and that really bugs the living pee out of me. Anywho, we're going to come back up top and show you what happened. And we're back up top again. One other thing I did just want to show you with this is the other thing that will send the OCD community going, oh no, please, no, I can't handle that. It's the volts. Now, this goes up. Oh, that's why I just get comfortable again. This goes up in 0.1 increments. And it starts, I'll just get the autofocus a little bit better than what it is. There we go. Starts at 0.5 volts. Why it starts at 0.5 volts, I've got no clue, because you're never going to be firing anything at 0.5 volts. But there we go, it does. Right. Now, like I said, this goes up in 0.1s, okay? And that's fine. That's fine. Until you get to 2.3. There you go. 2.3 should be 2.4. 2.39. And then everything else from that point, it goes back up in 0.1s. It's just that glitch at 2.3. That your next one will be 2.39, and then to the end of its abilities, it goes up in 0.1s. It's a very weird glitch. I mean, another thing I don't quite understand is, there you go, up to 8 volts on a single 18650 battery. You're not going to be using your battery for very long, are you? Because it will just go, I'm empty. So I don't quite get that. But anyway, I'm going to knock this down a lot than that. Now here's weird. Going backwards is right. It's now gone. There we go. it's now gone back to actually what it should be, 510, instead of 519 or 509. So it just seems going forward, as soon as you hit, so I'm waiting, actually, if I just go down, there we go, so that's all, that's okay now. Now if we hit 2.3, let's see if we go to, no, only, oh, that's sorted itself out. Oh, that's bizarre. I've apparently fixed a fault. Right, oh, well, that's now sorted out. Don't worry about that. If you have the 0.9 one come up at 2.3, apparently just cycle through and it will sort itself out, which is incredibly bizarre. But bonus. Right, how does it play? When you push the fire button, oh God, constantly playing with focus today. I do apologise. I'm still having a little play with everything here. Right, when you hit the fire button, it will convert into watts. And that bottom bit. So that's a bit low for me. So there we go. So I want that by 3.9. Now I don't get 3.89 for no apparent reason. It just sorted itself out. Right. Yep, it's absolutely fine. It delivers it lovely. I have got a pair of coils somewhere, but I remember where I put them. There they are. I have got a pair of temp control coils just to give that a little blast as well. But I want that 4.1, and that gives me like 41 watts. The problem is on an 18650 battery, that's around about the range you want. You want about a 0.4, probably high, 0.5, maybe a 0.6 coil to get a decent amount of life out of the battery. Otherwise, you're just going to be constant. You're going to have to take out about 4 sets of batteries out just to last the day if you're out for the day, which can be a pain in the arse. But yeah, I'll say 4.5 volts. Absolutely superb. It does what it needs to do. It does feel nice in the hand. It looks like it could be a bit shiny, but you kind of feel there's a little bit of resistance on there. But yeah, so it isn't going to go straight through. There is a little clinginess to it. Also here, you've got the 4 vent holes, just in case the battery does go into a little bit of a panic mode. I mean, hopefully there will be updates for this that will improve certain little bits. The 510 really does annoy me. I have to admit the 510 is a... I don't know if that will make that noise again, but... You can just hear there's like little burrs of metal still in the 510 that has been cleaned out properly. I mean, it's not an expensive device. I mean, I think I saw on Nature Vape they had it for like £26.99, so it's really not a lot of money for an 80 watt device. It's an 80 watt device that you're never going to use at 80 watts is the problem, because your battery will go, I'm dead, I'm going to give, and as the power drops in your battery, the machine reads it and will reduce what your maximum output is as well. So it's a bit like using a mech, to be honest. Yes, I can hit this at full power when I've got a full battery, but as my battery dies, so does the power that this will generate. And it's just a bit crap. Limit, don't tell me it might be able to do 80. There we go. This. Oh, see that as it's going down, there should not be that amount of give in that 510. That's a bit pony. Then you've got to try and hit it. So, and that, there it is again. Gap you can see through. And that's not going any further in, so it's just a bit tossed. So we'll put it onto temp mode, or I shall just turn it off, because there we go. Put it into temp mode. Put it onto SS mode. Now we'll put that 70 watts. Actually, what I will do is I will just temperature system, put it on to centigrade. I don't like Fahrenheit. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm British. Really never got on with Fahrenheit. Right. Now, here we are. So, and exit. That's done. Right. So here we are. We've got 2 stainless steel temp control cores in there, and they are going at 0.42. Ask me for new coil. Click up for yes. Actually, they're 0.22. So here we go. So there's little, if any, juice on there at the moment. So I say it's still reading there's juice in there. Ah, and now it's finally cut out. There you go. It's not cutting out. So I'll drop that down. I'll drop that down to 270 where it should be a cutout. Apparently it just keeps it at 270. Ah, here we are. So it's reached it there. So it just keeps it at 270. Not really reading the temp. Ah, there we are. And the machine. Yeah. So it does reduce the power. But I'd rather it came up on here. And I'm not sure why it's not. So I'll put a little bit of juice on here. That might help. But then it should come up on the screen. It just seems like it cuts out, but will still display that you're doing 2 set. Oh, there we go. See now, funny enough, a bit bizarre. It just cuts out otherwise, but with juice on. Now, why is this not working? Is it still going? Ah, there it is. It finally came on. That wasn't before. But no scorch marks. So the temp control does work, but I think the information it displays on the screen sometimes doesn't. So I think the chip definitely needs an update. I think the actual software on it does need, because something's not communicating properly with the screen. Sometimes it will come up. Drop that down to 240. I should hit that quite and stop. Yeah, it does adjust. It does adjust. So I'll put that down to 240. You can just about see there. So it hits 240. And yeah, you see, it makes a minor adjustment. It actually drops the temperature down. Instead of cutting you off, it will drop it down and then hit it up again. So it does. So on that aspect, it's good, but it just needs to transfer the information. I'd rather see that temp come up. But it does work. So all in all, personal thoughts. The 510 is unforgivable at this moment. They need to go back and just sort that out. There should not be any gap around that bottom. As I say, I can see daylight through it. It's a bit crunchy, so it needs to, when it's actually coming off the production line, the 510 needs to be cleaned out to get rid of all those little burrs. It's a cheap unit, so I can't really complain at that on the price range. But the 510 does need to get sorted out. And weirdly enough, I managed to sort out the other problem with the 0.9 at 2.3. Yeah, that's working fine now. And that's really bizarre. So, right, and then, of course, the 5 clicks to turn it off. Yeah, it's alright. Am I glad I won it in the competition and didn't buy it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'd been as happy if I'd bought this, to be honest. It does need a few areas where it needs to be sorted out. I mean, you got your watts mode will convert it. That's the same coil. watts mode will convert. I mean, on a 0.22 here, I mean, to get 3.94 volts, that's 57 watts. And I've got a feeling that battery's going to start hurting. But it produces what you need, and it does its job. It's cheap. But please, 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 Ehpro, sort out the 510. Well, that brings me to the end to this little review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please like, share, comment, and of course subscribe to the channel. And I shall be back soon with some more reviews. See ya! Right, actually, I know I just ended this video, but just one thing else I wanted to add. To upgrade the device, I mean, I show you to get into the menu. Hang on, let's see. Yeah. So we get into the menu. And you go on to software updating. Now, what you do is attach your device or the USB and attach it to the computer, and then you go into, then you OK on the software updating. So that's in. So now we'll press OK, and that comes up waiting for update. Now, up to this point, now I've just, and it hasn't worked. So I'm going to try that again. Ah, there we are. The last USB you connected to the computer malfunctioned. And that's all I get. It won't officially let me update. Which is a major pain in the proverbials. Go to work mode again. I shall try that again. System software updating. Okay. Waiting for update. Malfunctioned. The device you connected to the computer malfunctioned and would not. So and there's a nice little shot of my sofa. So yeah, it's something there's another area that needs working on. I have contacted the guys at Ehpro. They have replied back telling me they're on holiday. So when they come back off their Chinese holidays, apparently they're going to be looking into it and getting back to it. So there should be an update from me as soon as they come back with a solution to the problem. So, yep, that is definitely the last part of this review. See you all later, people.